One of the things that I don't like doing, but I know is necessary to do, is to interview clients that are not happy, interview clients that have had less than ideal experiences, because you learn so much more about your business, about your employees, about what people's expectations are from your business by asking people who aren't happy. And once you understand the things that you're falling short on, the first step is identifying those things, and then you can fix them. In his book, Hug Your Haters, Jay Baer says to get more 5-star reviews, you have to get more 1-star reviews. One of the things to do is make a habit of surveying and interviewing and speaking with clients and past clients and people who didn't hire you about what did you like, what did you hate, and what caused you to be, to have these issues. So that's really important. And that's something we're going to talk about today. Is we're going to talk about how you can survey different people and how you can get information from different people to improve your law firm long term. For a long time, when I was, before I merged with SMB Team, I had a marketing agency called Social Firestarter. And we started in 2012. And from 2012 until about 2018, we didn't lose a single client. We literally did not lose a single client. And the reason why is because every single month, I was the one that did all the work. I was the one that got on the calls with all of my clients and talked to my clients and everything. So because they had me, because I cared more than anybody, because I listened to everything and I understood their feedback and all that type of stuff, we were able to retain all of our clients, right? But the reality is that you can't grow a business if you're the one doing everything, right? So eventually you got to hire some people and you have to trust other people to handle some of these processes so that you can work on the bigger picture stuff. So you can work on the business rather than working in the business, right? And when that happens, things are going to fall short. Things are going to break. There's going to be people that don't care about your business the way that you care about your business. Nobody loves your baby as much as you love your baby, right? As business owners, at the end of the day, everything is our responsibility. Let's say an employee is not adequately trained on how to handle a certain circumstance. Well, at the end of the day, that falls on you. As a senior member of the company, it's my responsibility, it's Bill's responsibility, it's our senior management's responsibility that we're setting the standard and that we know that we're training all of our staff to handle things exactly how we want it done, right? And that's not always going to happen. So the only way that we can find out about these issues is when you talk to people, when you ask them questions, when you identify problems. Because it was a situation where I never even would have thought that would have been a question that would have been asked and that would have been the solution provided. Let's talk about who you can survey. So the easiest one is current clients. Who here ever reaches out to clients just to ask them, hey, how's everything going? Hey, what's your experience been like? Okay, so here's the thing though. It's very, very important. So one of the things, our big focus with SMB Team over the next year is going to be basically plugging the holes in our bucket, I guess you would say, right? Because everything that we do is with the absolute best intention, right? We want to build a company that when people come to this company, when lawyers come to this company, it's almost just guaranteed that they're going to double their revenue. They're going to change their lives. They're going to get amazing results. Their employees are going to have amazing lives. They're going to be able to deliver better results for their clients, right? And as we're building that, things are going to break. So one of the things that we're working on very, very diligently is how do we fix the things that are breaking that we can't identify, right? Now, Bill and I can look into everything, kind of go visit every department one by one and try to figure it out. But the reality is that we're not going to get that information unless we ask our clients, unless we talk to our clients. In fact, as this conference has been going on the last 2 days, I've been individually talking to clients and asking questions about things like that. Because when you find out this information, then you're able to fix it. Because most people will not complain. You guys get that? Most people will not complain. In fact, only 5% of people will complain publicly. So when you get a negative review, when you get a negative piece of feedback, first it kind of hurts, it kind of stings, right? Especially if maybe they're right. But here's what you have to think about. You have to ask yourself a very important question. Are they right? There's the crazies, right? Like you guys have gotten reviews from the crazies, right? Where it's a person you've never even seen this person before. You don't know who it is. Those aren't really valuable. Those are just annoying, right? But has anyone ever gotten a review that's a 1-star review that actually Okay, yeah, they're making a good point. That was a problem. Is anyone, put your hands up. I've gotten it before. We're people. People are flawed. Our businesses are run by people, flawed people. Nobody is perfect, right? Nobody likes perfect people. That's why they call them goody two-shoes in high school or in elementary school, right? So we're expected to have problems, right? The first thing you have to remember is that when somebody gives you a piece of feedback that's not good, maybe it's, oh, I didn't like this situation, or the person who answered the phone was rude. There's so many different issues that once you identify that problem, then that's awesome. Because now you've got something else you can fix. Now you've got another thing that you can do to grow your business even further. Because so the way that you're handling the phones is inadequate. Okay, cool, you can fix that. And now once that's fixed, now we don't have to worry about that anymore. We know that we have a world-class phone system, world-class intake system, right? These are things that you need to think about. And the only way you can do that is by asking your clients questions, by asking them questions about what has the experience been like. Make a note right now of maybe 3 or 4 clients that you can reach out to in the next week, just to check in, just to say, hey, just want to check in, see how everything's been going. How's our staff been treating you? What have we done well that you've really liked? Where have we fallen short? What do you think we can improve on? And what do I need to know as the owner of this business? And you will be very surprised about what you find out, what the answers are that you find out to some of these questions. You have to tell them, look, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You're actually going to hurt my feelings if you're not honest with me. Because the only way we can improve is by getting this real feedback that people don't tell us, right? Because only 5% of people complain publicly. But every negative experience that somebody has, the average person tells 12 people about that negative experience. It's very, very important. There's a personal injury attorney who was getting great settlements and great results for his clients. He kept getting these 1-star reviews. He dug into why is he getting these 1-star reviews? Well, what it turns out was that he was doing a great job on the injury side, but then when it came to the probate side of the case, they were falling short, and they were screwing things up, and they weren't giving that attention to the client that they needed on the probate side of things. Once he found out that that was a problem, he hired a full-time attorney to handle that specific piece. And now he gets 5-star reviews, glowing 5-star reviews across the board. By listening to his clients and by getting that feedback, and then the important part is acting on the feedback. Taking that feedback that they give you and making changes and implementing it and fixing things in your law firm. Current clients are very, very important. Next would be past clients, because they've gone through the entire process. So you want to ask past clients. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about some clients that had an amazing experience with your law firm. And I also want you to think about some clients that had a okay or maybe not even a great experience with your law firm. And it sucks. It's really uncomfortable. But you have to call them, at least the ones that didn't have a good experience. You have to call them and you have to ask them and you have to figure out exactly what happened. What did they like? Because it can't all be terrible. But what else? What needs to be fixed? I did this last month with probably, 10 calls, 15 calls of attorneys that were once clients and they're no longer clients for one reason or another. There was situations that I was unaware of. There were situations that Bill was unaware of. There were situations that all of our upper management was unaware of that were very, very important to these clients, that things that we hadn't even considered. And basically by doing that, we were able to implement some changes that are going to drastically improve everybody's experience. By doing so, the enterprise value, the entire value of our company and the experience that every client that we have will get better. It'll be a better experience for everybody. Results will get better and everybody wins. So another group of people that you can survey, and this is very, very important, is people who didn't hire you. You do this through something that I call a didn't hire survey. And a didn't hire survey does a few things. The first thing it does is it introduces one of the best sales tactics that you can ever employ, which is the takeaway, right? So has anyone here ever had somebody come into your office, go through a consultation, and then not hire you? One of the most powerful things you can do is ask them, why didn't you hire us? When you do the didn't hire survey, and what I like doing is I like sending out an email, and what we typically do, it's automated from us, but you can do this manually as well. What we do is we send maybe a 7 email drip sequence. At the end of it, we say, Well, it looks like you didn't hire us. It's unfortunate, but we would love to know more about why you chose not to hire us. And the reason why is because we want to use this information so that we can provide better services and help more lawyers in the future. So would you mind taking 2 seconds and answering a quick survey that'll help us, improve our service in the future? I want you guys to remember this. Most people won't. In marketing, in business, that's just the rule. Most people won't. Most people won't click on your ad. Most people won't convert on your landing page. Most people won't most people won't, do all these things. Otherwise, we'd be the best marketers in the world. Most people won't take your didn't hire survey. However, some of them, it will bring them back, because the takeaway is one of the most important things and the most powerful things you can do in sales. They say we want what we can't have, right? So if you do the takeaway, say, okay, it looks like you're not going to hire us anymore. We're not going to pursue you anymore. All of a sudden, they come back and they say, well, wait a second. No, I'm still interested. I still want to do this. But what's more valuable than those cases is the data and the information that you get from your didn't hire survey. Because what you find out from those didn't hire surveys is invaluable to use in your sales process before you send out the didn't hire survey, right? So we had a client one time, they're an estate planning attorney, and they were losing lots of people. They'd have people come in and do a consultation, $3,000 quote, whatever it was, and then they would leave. So I was like, well, let's do a didn't hire survey. So what they found out in the didn't hire survey is that the reason people weren't hiring them was because it was $3,000 and they knew that they could go to LegalZoom for $500 and get a will done. And they believed that it was the same service. What we did is we knew that this was an issue that lots of people were dealing with. We knew people were thinking this, right? So we were able to build that into the sales process. We were able to have them create content about 3 reasons I love LegalZoom. 1, they send me all kinds of business because they come and they screw up your stuff, and then I have to go fix it, and it's great. It's a great source of business for me, right? So when you understand that, you can then build that into the sales process. So I want to show you an example of a didn't hire survey. Okay, so this is a Google form. This is just a sample, right? But so all you have to do is go to Google Forms, create a new Google form. First question, were you considering hiring our firm to represent you? Yes or no? Now, this is a very important question because if the answer is no, then you don't really want to pay attention to their answers because they weren't serious anyway, right? If the answer is yes, and that's the only reason we're putting this on here is we're trying to see, do we actually care about the responses that this person is about to give us? The next question is, did you hire another law firm? Again, we want to know, are they still in the market? Are they off the market? We don't know. It's just interesting. Third question, if you were considering hiring us, why didn't you? Please be as specific as possible. This is very important because what will happen is you'll get lots and lots of gold. Just leave these as open-ended as possible so that they can type whatever they want, because the reality is that you're going to get information in this survey that you didn't even think about, that you never even considered. Now, here's another one that's really, really good that's going to give you lots of great information. What factors do you think would stop you from being successful if you hired our law firm? I know for a fact that we had a DUI client, and that DUI client was trying to get, they sent this survey out to people that were charged with DUI. What they were finding was that people that took the breath test or people that took the blood test just assumed that they were going to be found guilty because of the fact that they took that test. So they figured, I'm not going to waste my money on a criminal defense attorney. It's not true at all, right? Well, the client wasn't making that abundantly clear. The client was not, and he was losing sales, he was losing clients because they assumed that because they had this one piece of evidence, they were screwed, right? So simply by identifying that that was a problem with his sales process, that he wasn't being very, very clear that issue is not actually as big of an issue as you may think it is, just by getting that one piece of information, he was able to triple his business. Is there anything else that you'd like us to know? Now, this is really good too, because a lot of times you'll get a lot of really good information that just, for whatever reason, they've already started talking in the first 2 questions, and now they're kind of warmed up a little bit. So they'll give you more information in the third one. And then the last one is, how can we contact you? The last question is very important. I want you to notice it says optional. You can leave this blank if you'd like to remain anonymous. Now, if you scroll up on the form again, I want you to notice that every question is required. You see there's a red star, so star indicates required question. Every question is required. You can scroll all the way down, except for the last question. The reason why is because we don't, if somebody wants to give feedback but doesn't want us to contact them, that's fine. The feedback is so valuable. We don't care if they don't contact. Like if you never get a single sale from somebody you sent a didn't hire survey to, but they fill out the information, that's worth more than the money that they would have paid you, because you can take this information and you can use it to grow your law firm and to get better at the sales process and sign up 10 clients for this one client that didn't hire you.